Welcome to this channel. It's amazing how technology has evolved in the last few years. We are surrounded by all kinds of information. What's even more amazing? It's the fact that there are some things we didn't even think about to ask ourselves. Stay with me to find out 30 interesting facts. 1. Who estimated the Earth's circumference? Eratosthenes' calculation of Earth's circumference. In Alexandria, a tower casts a shadow on the summer solstice. The sun was not directly overhead there. Eratosthenes knew the distance between Alexandria and Syene, which is about 800 kilometers. 2. How many feet per second does a bullet go? Firearms expert Julian Hatcher studied falling bullets in the 1920s and calculated that .30 caliber rounds reach terminal velocities of 300 feet per second, 90 meters per second. A bullet traveling at only 200 feet per second, 61 meters per second, to 330 feet per second, 100 meters per second, can penetrate human skin. 3. How old was the oldest mother to give birth? Rajo Devi became the oldest woman in recorded history to ever give birth on November 28, when the 70-year-old delivered a baby girl in India. Married for 50 years, she had been trying, without success, to have a child for much of that time, until she entered menopause, which was 20 years ago. 4. Do ears grow all your life? Bones stop growing after puberty and muscle and fat cells also stop dividing. But cartilage, that's the plastic-like stuff in ears and noses, cartilage continues to grow until the day you die. Not only does cartilage grow, but the earlobes elongate from gravity. And that makes ears look even larger. 5. What currency was Martha Washington on? Martha Washington is the only woman whose portrait has appeared on a US currency note. It appeared on the face of the $1 silver certificate of 1886 and 1891, and the back of the $1 silver certificate of 1896. 6. How much does the Earth spin in 1 hour? The Earth rotates in about 24 hours. Therefore, if you were to hang above the surface of the Earth at the equator without moving, you would see 25,000 miles pass by in 24 hours, at a speed of 25,024 or just over 1,000 miles per hour. 7. What is a sunshine vitamin? Humans make 90% of our vitamin D naturally from sunlight exposure to our skin, specifically, from ultraviolet B exposure to the skin, which naturally initiates the conversion of cholesterol in the skin to vitamin D3. 8. What causes your heart to beat? The electrical system of your heart is the power source that makes this possible. The impulse starts in a small bundle of specialized cells located in the right atrium, called the SA node. The electrical activity spreads through the walls of the atria and causes them to contract. This forces blood into the ventricles. 9. How many rushing yards did Walter Payton have in his career? Over his entire career, Payton rushed for 16,726 yards, which broke the record for most rushing yards by any NFL player in history, and scored 110 touchdowns. He caught 492 passes for 4,538 yards and 15 touchdowns. 10. Who has the most children in the world? Vasilyev and his first wife, whose name is unknown, hold the record for the most children a couple has parented. She gave birth to a total of 69 children, 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets and 4 sets of quadruplets, between 1725 and 1765, in a total of 27 births. 11. Who was the tallest person in history? The tallest man in medical history for whom there is irrefutable evidence is Robert Pershing Wadlow, USA, born 6:30 a.m. at Alton, Illinois, USA on February 22, 1918, who when last measured on June 27, 1940, was found to be 2.72 meters, 8 feet 11.1, in tall. 12. Is there a right side of aluminum foil? Actually, it makes no difference which side of the aluminum foil you use, both sides do the same fine job of cooking, freezing and storing food. The difference in appearance between dull and shiny is due to the foil manufacturing process. 13. What is the youngest driving age in the US? In the vast majority of states, the minimum age for unsupervised driving is 16. The youngest legal drivers are in South Dakota at 14 years, 6 months. The oldest minimum age for driving is in New Jersey at 17 years old. 14. What fears are we born with? However, this is a common misconception, as people are born with only two fears, of falling and of loud noises. These two fears are incorporated in the human DNA and have become a mechanism for survival which is passed to new generations. 15. When was the largest pyramid built? The pharaoh Sneferu built this pyramid for his son, Khufu. In 2540 BC it was built from millions of blocks of limestone and granite. There are also two smaller pyramids in Giza built for Khufu's son and his grandson. This was the last great pyramid built. 16. What is the most recycled material in the United States? 99% of all asphalt is recycled and used to fix and build roads over and over again. A variety of recycled materials are in that pavement: recycled roof shingles, ground rubber from tires, glass, foundry sand, slag and even pig manure, says the Nation Asphalt Pavement Association. 17. Who was the oldest man on Earth? Guinness World Record says the oldest living person verified by original proof of birth is Misao Okawa, a 115-year-old Japanese woman. The oldest verified age was 122 years and 164 days, Jean Calment of France, who died in 1997. 18. What year was the first lighthouse built? 1716. First lighthouse built in the United States was Boston Lighthouse, built on Little Brewster Island. This lighthouse was destroyed during the Revolutionary War and was rebuilt in 1783 and still stands today. 19. How strong is a strand of human hair? A single strand could hold 100 grams, 3 ounces, in weight. The combined hair of a whole head could support 12 tons, or the weight of 2 elephants. Weight for weight, it is not as strong as steel, more like aluminium, or reinforced glass fibers or Kevlar, which is used to make bulletproof vests. 20. What nation produces the most vanilla? The majority of the world's vanilla is the V. planifolia species, more commonly known as bourbon vanilla, after the former name of Réunion, Ile Bourbon, or Madagascar vanilla, which is produced in Madagascar and neighboring islands in the southwestern Indian Ocean, and in Indonesia. 21. How much money did the cast of Friends make? The stars were paid $75,000 per episode in Season 3, $85,000 in Season 4, $100,000 in Season 5, $125,000 in Season 6, $750,000 in Seasons 7 and 8, and $1 million in Seasons 9 and 10, making Aniston, Cox, and Kudrow the highest paid TV actresses of all time. 22. Which is the largest freshwater lake in the world? Lake Superior is the largest freshwater lake in the world in area. If Lakes Michigan and Huron are taken separately, see Lake Michigan-Huron, and the third largest in volume, behind Lake Baikal in Siberia and Lake Tanganyika in East Africa. 23. When was the Braille invented? When Louis Braille entered the School for the Blind in Paris, in 1819, he learned of a system of tangible writing using dots, invented in 1819 by Captain Charles Barbier, a French army officer. It was called night writing and was intended for nighttime battlefield communications. 24. Is the Earth farther away from the Sun in the winter? Earth is closest to the Sun every year in early January, when it's winter for the Northern Hemisphere. We're farthest away from the Sun in early July, during our Northern Hemisphere summer. Earth is about 5 million kilometers, or 3 million miles, closer to the Sun in early January than it will be in early July. 25. How much does it cost per episode Game of Thrones? The average Game of Thrones episode costs $6 million to make. That's 2 to 3 times what a typical network or cable show costs per episode. Breaking Bad episodes cost around $3 million, early Big Bang Theory cost $2 million. 26. How old is the oldest cow? Big Bertha, March 17, 1945, December 31, 1993, was a cow who held 2 Guinness World Records. She was the oldest cow recorded, dying just 3 months short of her 49th birthday, and she also held the record for lifetime breeding, having produced 39 calves. 27. Who originally sang Miss American Pie? American Pie is a song by American folk rock singer-songwriter Don McLean. Recorded and released on the American Pie album in 1971, the single was a #1 US hit for 4 weeks in 1972. In the UK, the single reached number 2 on its original 1972 release, and a reissue in 1991 reached number 12. 28. Who wrote the first modern chemistry textbook? Antoine Lavoisier (1743–1794) introduced quantitative measurement into the study of chemistry with his discovery of the law of conservation of mass. He discovered the role of oxygen in combustion and established the principles for naming chemicals. He wrote the first modern chemistry textbook in 1789. 29. Who invented the jigsaw puzzle? Jigsaw puzzles were originally created by painting a picture on a flat, rectangular piece of wood, and then cutting that picture into small pieces with a jigsaw, hence the name. John Spilsbury, a London cartographer and engraver, is credited with commercializing jigsaw puzzles around 1760. 30. Why do mosquito bites itch? While bees and wasps inject venom when they sting, mosquitoes simply bite to feed on your blood. The bumps and itchiness that follow come from an anticoagulant that the mosquito injects to prevent your blood from clotting, which triggers a mild allergic reaction that includes a typical round, red bumps. Thank you very much for watching! Please hit the like button if you liked what you heard and subscribe to find out more interesting things. See you soon!